Welcome to The Way for Paralegals with your hosts, Marisa Rua and Allison McKeen. This is the podcast for paralegals by paralegals and attorneys who believe that paralegals are the lifeblood of law firms and deserve a place to connect, grow, and engage. All right, let's dive into this episode.
Hi, Marisa.
Hi, Allison.
How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. You just came back from Greece.
I did.
How was
Beautiful. It was amazing. The Aegean Sea is heaven on earth.
Yeah.
The water is so buoyant, like you just float. You don't have to do anything.
Amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah.
And it was a last minute trip.
It was a last minute trip. So we were planning to go a while back, and then Alex got orders, so that got taken off the table. And then last minute they got canceled for all the things going on in the world that are not great. So opportunity presented itself, and I am grateful for all of you for supporting that time with my family.
I got to go to Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
I got to use your tickets.
It's amazing.
Which was so much fun. It was so much fun.
Good. I'm happy.
So, good all around.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
So I wanted to talk to you today because one of the things I deal with a lot in consulting and coaching is there's this idea that the right person exists out there, that you're looking to hire somebody, and you just need to find that right person who's going to come in and know exactly what to do.
Right.
And it's going to take all this stuff off your plate.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because you hear it too.
Yeah, I do. And I've been in that position.
You've been that person.
I've been that person where you start somewhere new. My years of experience on paper are true, but they're not true to the firm that I'm going to work at. Yeah. So I will know what you're talking about when we're discussing legal matters and, verbiage, but the way that the firm operates, I can't just jump in and know.
Yeah.
It's impossible for anyone,
right.
I think. Yeah. Because not one firm works the same.
Right. Like different computers.
Yep.
Different file systems. Even if you have Filevine or Clio or, one of the big ones.
Yeah.
It's set up differently.
Exactly.
So it's completely new.
Yeah. I mean, even when I started at Connecticut Trial Firm, I didn't work at a firm that used Mac before that. And at home, we have a Mac, but I never used it for anything related to work.
It's different.
So it's totally different. I had to learn how to do that and like Dropbox and all this other stuff.
Even like scrolling.
Yeah. it's totally different.
The mouse is different.
Yes. Yeah. So I think giving that time period when you have the right person, understanding that they need time to grow to meet your firm's needs.
Yeah.
And they show that they're fully capable of the job of what you're requiring them to do, but giving them the time to be able to do that with your systems, your everything, the style of communication, even throughout the firm.
So much.
Yeah.
Like, what's the right way to communicate with my manager?
Yep.
What's too much?
Yep.
I see this all the time, and it results in a lot of anxiety for the people who work there if they don't know exactly what they're supposed to be doing because they want to do a good job.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then there's the actual substantive piece of it. So, like, when we were at Connecticut Trial Firm, we kind of gave up on we eventually learned. We grew. We learned that we couldn't find that unicorn that we were trying to plug in. Yeah. But we could find somebody who was talented and smart and hardworking and had the right personality fit for that role, and we could train them.
Yes.
And that part was difficult. That's what we're trying to help other law firm owners with, our para-era training.
Yes.
Can you speak to that a little bit for anybody who hasn't?
Absolutely, because just to give a little background, like to go off of what you're saying with like finding that person that is trainable. I started before being a paralegal. I worked in the medical field. I was in doctor's offices working, and I wanted to like change my career. So I found a position at a law firm. It was a small law firm, and I started as the receptionist there. But with being told at the interview, we need a receptionist for this time, but eventually you're going to be transitioned to a paralegal or legal assistant role. And I was like, okay. So I gained that experience, like knowing, how to work with attorneys and how to take a phone call with a potential client, all of those things as a receptionist, and then was able to transition to a paralegal role. But just from experience, like the person that you're hiring doesn't need to have legal background. If they are trainable and they show ambition and the willingness to want to learn more, if they're asking you questions that are not specifically related to maybe a task, but just a general overview of something, that person wants to learn and they want to grow with your firm, and they're probably going to be like an outstanding employee. They're going to work hard. I think the idea of having the willingness to want to grow in that field is more important than 5 years of experience that somebody may have been miserable at their last firm because they just don't like the job, but they want to find a new one because that's just all they know. They go to your firm and then they give you 50%.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
As at their last job. And
exactly.
And a lot of times what I found is people can come with bad habits.
Yes.
So it's teaching somebody how you want things done the first time, making that investment in somebody who is coming out green.
Absolutely.
Can be better than having somebody who comes with bad habits and ideas about how to do things.
Yeah, and that's something that I work with paralegals on. There are times where you have a senior staff member that is the person that trains your new employees, but you may not necessarily want them to do it the way that senior person does it. You want like it done a certain way, but they just can't get out of their habits. That person's going to be trained to do it the way that they're taught by the senior person, and it's going to be frustrating. So with paralegal training, what I do is like I bridge that gap where they learn what your firm, how they want things done. We set up a call with the attorney or whoever supervises your team. We go through, okay, what are your procedures? What do you want them to be trained on specifically? If you want like the rundown from the first intake call to settlement, we could do that. The list goes on, but it's really built around your firm's needs.
So when you get like a custom request, a request for custom training.
Yes.
I'm hiring this paralegal. I'm hiring 2 paralegals.
Yeah.
What is your process? Like, what are the discussions that you have with the law firm owner so that you know that you're training people the way that they need to be trained?
What I run down with the hiring team is what are their specific roles? Like, what are their roles going to be? That's the most important thing, is that your firm needs to know what role they are actually hiring for, because a lot of times they'll be hired, let's say, for a legal assistant, and they're really doing paralegal work.
Yeah, it's a crazy. Amount of difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all respect to the firms that are hiring, because sometimes they don't really understand that like this isn't really a task for them. Like, I totally get that. But when you're hiring and we're going over this, that's something that I approach. I'm like, okay, well, if they're going to be doing medical records requests, final balances, and everything to do with the liens on 130 cases, which this is a true story, something needs to change, because that is not manageable for the person that's being hired for that role. And especially, I think an important fact to think about is that you may have had these cases for a year and a half, and they're jumping in and they have to learn every single thing about the file. And that takes a lot of time. Yeah. Reviewing files, if it's not yours from the beginning, can take months for you to really get to know your cases. 130 files. So breaking down to begin with, like what you're hiring for, and then maybe tweaking it if it needs to. If not, we just go through what are their responsibilities? How do you want them to communicate with you? Do you have certain things that they need to check on a daily basis? Once I get that foundation, the structure, you don't have to send any client information to me. I don't need any of that. I just need a rundown. And then we go through what pieces of the training or all of the training that you want discussed with your team. We have our initial 2-hour Zoom meetings where I just basically go through my training materials. And I always tell everybody in the beginning, like, you don't need to stay quiet the whole time. If you don't understand something, you have a question, you need me to go back, interrupt me. I want you to. I think that's a scary part when somebody first starts out, when they're maybe shadowing with somebody at their firm. They're scared to like ask the question because they don't want to feel like they don't know it.
It's a stupid question.
Yeah, it's never a stupid question.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. Because people do say it like that. They go, oh, this may be a stupid question. I'm like, it's never a stupid question. And if you have to ask me 5 times, ask me 5 times, and I'll explain it 5 different ways. Whatever way you understand it. And then we have 3 1-hour follow-ups. Those are 1 week after the initial 2-hour meeting, 2 weeks after that, and then 3 weeks after that. So it gives that time for them to take in what they've learned and then come back with maybe a task that they've come across that, they remember kind of how to do it from our session, but need help going through. That's what we work on. It's really whatever they want, those 3 follow-ups. Then they have access to our Slack community, the Para-Era Slack community.
How's that going?
It's great. Yeah, I love it.
And so that people ask you questions, they continue to ask.
Yes.
Like, I love that it's a safe space.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And they'll send me like drafts of stuff. Like if they have a demand or something, I tell them like, don't put any client information, not for like my sake, but just so that they don't, get in trouble at their firm, whatever. Just leave that out. Just like give me the draft sample that you want me to review, and I will go through it and I will tell you any errors, because a lot of times like firms have templates and they don't train their team on how to fill out the templates.
Oh.
It may sound like a minor, like, oh, you should know how to do it. But for example, a demand letter, that can change. Every client is different. Every treatment is different. Every accident is different. There's so many things that need to be changed within a template for a demand.
So what are some things that you see? Like a basic motor vehicle accident template?
Yeah.
And you fill in client name.
Yeah, but sometimes they don't even have a difference between motor vehicle and like premises.
Oh.
So that also comes into play. Like if you take anything away from this podcast episode, make sure your templates are good. Or ask me and I'll help you. Just templates are everything.
Because you're asking a paralegal who has not gone to law school.
Yes.
Who may not have any other previous training.
Right.
To understand the difference between a motor vehicle accident and what needs to be pled and a premises liability.
Right.
So, there's a difference.
Yeah, and I think also there's a strong, like the attorney needs to have a good understanding of the case as well, because a lot of times paralegals know probably 10% more about the case than the attorney does, because our hands are constantly on it, doing like the meticulous work. And we can probably run down a treatment history for you in 10 minutes, whereas it would probably take you like an hour to review and get up to speed on the care. But I mean, even the attorney, I think, should review the case completely before a paralegal drafts a demand, especially if they're newer, because certain things come into play, which I'm grateful that I have like so much experience and knowledge and training to date. But what I can catch is like if there's going to be treble damages that I need to put in the demand. Not everybody knows even what that means.
Yeah.
But like if I see it's like clear recklessness, like you can seek treble damages, texting and driving, things of that sort. But somebody may not understand that, like, or just put that in the demand for the attorney to review. So I think having like that pre-demand review from the attorney, just giving quick notes that you think are like the absolute important things that need to be in there for the paralegal to then go in and add those details.
As part of the training.
That
isn't forever.
Right.
But it's just to get them up to speed so that
like,
they know.
What should I look out for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long do you think it takes to really train somebody? Like, how long did it take you to learn how to be a paralegal? Like a good one.
I would say, I feel like I'm still
ongoing.
like, I'm always learning.
Yeah.
Which I could confidently handle cases without an attorney's guidance for a long time. Like I really don't ask questions until it's something that, one, I probably know what we should do, but it's not my position to make that call. That's where I would bring the attorney in. But I mean, I would say like probably up until like starting with Connecticut Trial Firm, like that was where I started to peak and continued to grow with you. The legal world is always changing.
Yeah.
And laws continuously change. AI, like is huge into the legal industry now. It's everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. I have to, get up to speed on how I could properly use it, things of that sort. So I wouldn't say like any paralegal probably can get to like their peak performance throughout their career because they're constantly learning.
Yeah.
But I feel like the same for attorneys though as well.
Oh,
like,
yeah. The law's constantly changing.
law's constantly changing. your trials are never going to be the same.
Nope.
One trial is never going to look like the other.
Nope.
Your prep is always going to be different. And then you like, oh, this worked really well. Let me try it on this. It's always
totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think for the time it takes for a new paralegal to get up to speed, I've seen great feedback from the paralegals that I've trained with that 4-week training onboarding program. The law firms have told me this has been amazing. Like, they know what they're supposed to do.
Okay.
And if you need me to continue working with them, that's absolutely fine. Like, I have a law firm that I always work with. They always hire me when they have a new hire.
That's exactly what you want to do.
But that's exactly what I want to do. And it's great for me because the more I work with your team, the more I know your firm, and the easier it is for me to train them.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is exactly what we were looking for.
Yes.
When we had paras, we're like, we don't know how to train them.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just kind of fumbled through it.
Right.
But I love that you've brought some structure to it. And we have courses too.
Yes.
Like just out of the box courses.
They're pre-recorded.
Yeah.
We have from initial client contact, not even intake, but initial client contact to all the way to settlement. Allison does litigation parts of it. Ryan does AI parts of it.
It's going to keep growing.
Awesome.
We have more.
We have so much more
to do.
The biggest question I get in my trainings is always about liens. Always about liens.
Liens were the biggest thing at the firm. And they're so expensive.
Yes.
Like, that is such an expensive mistake to make.
Yes. Yes.
Like, everything else, I would say, like, we can fix that.
Yeah.
But missing a lien is huge.
It's huge. And liens are so complex. Every insurance company is different. I mean, Medicare, I think everyone should know Medicare is you have to report it. You must pay that lien if there is one. But all of the other ones,
you must report.
Yes.
And then like maybe you shouldn't, because
maybe
that would be adverse to your client's interest.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
And it's not required. So it's like, that's huge as well. Your team should, if they are handling any parts of a lien, even just recognizing it, like, maybe your paralegals don't handle the actual corresponding of the liens, but being able to recognize it to then report to the person in your firm that does handle it, that they need to work on it.
We would get those fake liens.
Oh,
all the
yeah.
time.
Like from the hospitals too.
Yeah.
The fake ones from the hospitals.
The fake ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those, yeah. But.
And I say fake because in Connecticut, it has to be served a certain way in order for it to be a valid lien.
Exactly.
And none of these were.
Yep.
They were all invalid.
Yep.
But we'd still get lien letters.
Yes. And if I've trained any of your paralegals, I just want you to know that I'm the one that tells them, because even me, this is exactly how I say it. I've seen 100,000 liens letters in my life. I could clearly see that it might say ERISA plan, self-funded ERISA plan. But I will tell them to go back to your attorney and say, I have identified that this is a potential ERISA plan. It's in this part of the letter. Can you please confirm for me? I do not want to put that on I don't want to be responsible if it is not an actual lien. Yeah. And then having the client have to pay something they don't have to pay. That is the ultimate decision I have always left for the attorney, but I don't just say, here, we got a lien letter, look at it. I will review it first and give my opinion on what I think, and then give them the ultimate decision whether I need to report or not. I mean, Ryan and I just got one for a client, and before I could do any sort of like settlement disbursements or anything, I was like, I have to talk to him first because I don't know if I have to contact them or not. Need to make sure before I do put them on notice that we, got the letter, just to be safe. It's not your money, it's the firm's money and the client's money that is really at jeopardy, and the firm itself at jeopardy.
Yeah, the
in
firm
some senses.
Is on the hook for liens that are missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really sticky area.
Yes.
So I'm glad that you offer training in that.
Yeah.
I mean, I just remember we get hospital bills.
Yeah.
That didn't go through insurance.
Yes.
And they wanted the client to pay the full amount.
Right.
When they could just run it through insurance.
Yes. That drives me nuts.
Yeah. The client could pay nothing.
Right.
Or a lot less.
Yeah. Especially when there's in Connecticut, we have med pay. So we don't have to really deal with the PIP liens or, letters from PIP and exhaustions. But like Connecticut, we have med pay where we can elect to have payment or medical payment coverage on our policy. It's not required. But like New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, all these other states, they have PIP where it's just automatically provided to anybody in an accident. But then they can put a lien on it. And with PIP, like they have to go through an IME. And it's just all of these like
independent
medical
examination.
Yes. Independent medical examination, yes. From a provider that the insurance carrier selects. So the ortho that your client's been seeing for months may say one thing, and then they go to an IME doctor
friendly.
and they're like, yeah, we don't really see that. But it's like,
yeah,
because they're in the insurance company's pocket. But that's okay. We always figure it out. But yeah, like dealing with PIP even can be very complex. And to your point about the health insurance not paying it, it's because like the hospital's running it through PIP because they don't know that it's already been exhausted. And then PIP is denying it. And then the health insurance is saying to run it through PIP. And now they've come to a point where they're so like far out from the billing date, they can't even run it through insurance anymore. And now it's on the client. Like it's a lot. So
you can help firms
navigate
that. So
yeah.
if you don't understand this,
right. If this is
Marisa.
gibberish to you, I can explain it in 5 different ways. So
yeah. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I woke up and chose violence on this. Everybody's looking for somebody right out of the box, and I think that's not fair.
It's not.
Everybody needs a lot of training.
Absolutely.
Patience.
Yep. And I mean, I think it's also important, like in your initial couple weeks with the new hire, to get to know their working style.
Yeah.
I don't think that it should be fully adaptable to your firm or one attorney. You could have a huge firm. Maybe the paralegal only has to work with one of the attorneys, but maybe they have to cover for somebody on vacation once for a couple weeks. Now they don't know anything about the other attorney they're working with, and then this one's like, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah.
So I think giving grace.
Yes.
I think.
Giving grace.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. What are you reading? What's our question? Read, watch.
Reading, watching, or listening to.
Okay, gotcha.
I am reading Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. It's like a mythical, it's got dragons and some like combat. Almost like if you think about, I don't know, Avatar, you've seen Avatar, like the movie Avatar, when they have to like fight to get on the whatever animals that they ride.
Okay.
It's like a story about that, but like with dragons.
Okay.
And like not blue people, humans. So yeah. How about you?
That's good. I am reading We Solve Murders by, now I'm going to forget his name, but it's the same guy who wrote the Thursday Night Murder Club. What's that? Anyway, my daughter got it for me. So I'm reading it and I'm enjoying it.
That's wonderful. Maybe I will. That sounds right up my alley.
We have to start our book club here.
Yeah.
All Ryan's books.
We'll have to move this shelf over and put out another shelf.
Yeah. Just to borrow.
We should do that. We should, like, every book we read, we should put it on this shelf.
Yeah, just to share.
Yeah, just to, like, show the audience, like, we like to read here.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll do this again soon.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Way for Paralegals. If you like what you heard, please follow, rate, and review the show. Until next time, keep being all that.